Hi everybody, how are you? Deborah Crowe here. Sorry, there's been a bit of a gap from me. I was working up in northern Uganda and I very foolishly, when I should have known better, thought that I'd have internet there. I was really wrong. So anyway, sincere apologies for this gap. And for those of you that don't know me yet or have just joined the site, I'm an author and a trainer, and I run workshops and do internet stuff to help women over 40 plan their best 10 years ever, having had bad perimenopause symptoms, plus made worse by stress. That's how I've ended up doing the work that I'm doing, so that no other women are in the same position I was. So, on to this series that I've been recording, or failing to record, as case may be, trying to catch up, is my question for you, is what does your sleep have to do with your stomach? Very good question that. I know you're probably wondering what sleep has to do with weight gain. Well, this is really interesting. There's a lot of information about weight gain, but it usually only refers to what you eat. And I want to give you another angle on it and see what you think. And I bet you didn't know, because not many of us do, know that poor sleep actually causes your cortisol levels. And I've spoken about cortisol, which is your stress hormone, in another video. It causes it to remain high. And that cortisol is responsible for sugar and carb cravings. So that's yet another example where your biochemistry is a lot to answer as you're rapidly learning. So it's the S word again. If you're stressed, your body's hardwired to crave sugar and starchy carbs because it thinks it's got to hoard those sorts of foods to get you out of an emergency quickly. And the reason, obviously, is that your body's thinking it's got to turn all the sugar into quick energy so you can run away fast, generally designed to run away from a lion, even if there's no lion there. And our poor brains haven't evolved to tell the difference between 100 emails and a lion. That's the problem. We're just not designed for this malarkey. So how many of you notice that you lose it between 3 o'clock and 7? Hit the starchy carbs and the sugary treats, and all that sugar you then eat drives up the cortisol into thinking that the emergency's got worse. So it sure as anything isn't going to let you work off any of the stuff that you've just eaten because it thinks it's got to hoard it for that emergency. So this is very common. And so if you haven't already started eating a protein-rich breakfast and lunch, then this is made worse. So if you don't eat enough during the day, it's even harder to try to crush cravings, almost impossible actually, because chemical hormone cravings are actually very, very powerful indeed, particularly if you're already, like most women, if you haven't eaten enough already. So if you actually want to lose weight, you first have to reduce your stress. It keeps coming back to that. That's my same message time and time again, isn't it? And that's what I learned so powerfully when I was doing all this research. So the chemicals in your body are actually stronger than you. And that's why willpower doesn't work. And this is important because women tend to then feel guilty and think if there's something wrong with them, if they've given into a sugar craving. And then of course that increases stress levels because you're feeling guilty. And guilt is a chemical reaction as well. So you don't want that. So put it simply, stress makes you keep any extra fat you have in case you need it for an emergency. All right? So what can you do for your 5 minutes today? Well, don't despair. And really, it's so important to remember that just being informed of these things is a huge step forward. So what you want to do is just try and think about your sleep patterns. That's all you need to do. All right? And remember, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I've just done lots of research. I'm a pretty ordinary kind of woman. I know how to find research and look up things, and I've got past headlines and magazines which put pressure on women to do this and that. So what I don't want you is to waste years of your life like I did. So that's the main thing, is don't despair, be aware and have a look at your stress levels. And if your cortisol's high at night, then that's stopping your melatonin being produced, which makes you sleepy. So it all comes back to that stress, learning to breathe, learning to relax, learning to have fun, learning to chill. Those are the main things. So I'd love to hear from you if you've got any comments, any questions. Let me know how you're doing with your meditation, if you've been doing any meditation. And talk to you soon. Loads of yummy love. Bye.